Okay. I think we're back. Are we back? Are we back? That's really embarrassing. That's unfortunate. Oh, that might be one of the issues. Alright. Public. Why would I want a stream to be unlisted? Like... Man. I probably just ruined the entire stream, didn't it? Literally the most random internet crash. Wow. That sucks, dude. Come on. It just, like, immediately disconnects stream, like... Alright. That really made me angry. I'm really mad. I'm gonna post in the community tab. Alright. Let's try... No, I don't want Twitter blue. Alright. Yeah, so the stream is back up. Okay. Alright, looks like we got some people in now. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody, if you were here before. That was really annoying, like, literally out of nowhere. Like, the last few days, my internet will just pop out and I'll have to switch to my other connection, because I have, like, a 2G and a 5G. And it literally just goes, like, in, out. I'm like, it's easy to fix, like, don't get me wrong. But, like, YouTube decided to just completely end the stream. And then that just kicked everyone out. There was, like, almost 20 people in here, and it just kicked everyone out. And now I'm going to have to splice these two into separate videos, which is going to be really annoying. But whatever, I guess. Nothing we can do about it. So let's just try to see if we can get things back rolling. Because I was typing the poll out, so now I have to wait for other people to come in to want to do the poll. Yeah, that's very frustrating. That made me really angry. Because it said, like, my OBS disconnected. But, like, it said it was still streaming. It was just, like, laggy because no internet. I thought I'd, like, reconnect, and then immediately the stream would keep going. But it was like, oh, no. Your stream's over. So I'm like, okay. One sec. Alright. I was making sure nothing was actually said in chat, because I didn't know if the poll was blocking it or not. Alright. Come on. Get on the side of my screen. You know, I love having two monitors, but sometimes it is very frustrating. Alright. Whatever. I'm not going to, I'm going to try not to sweat it. So, for the few of you that are here, it looks like... Sorry. I almost choked on my gum there. What do we think is going to happen to Magnamhut? Ugh. I'm not going to get over that. I want to get over it, but I'm not going to get over it. So cringe. Did the poll not go up? Seriously? Come on. That's just so weird. Okay, there we go. That is... Sorry, y'all, I couldn't see you in chat there. That's cringe. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Chat literally had nothing in it, but, like, I hit pop-out chat, and then suddenly y'all are there. Okay. Okay, everyone making fun of the stream for going down, yeah. Sorry, it was literally just my internet. Magnamhut's a ban candidate later down the line. I think that limiting Magnamhut will best help Chaos deck that Bystial's kill at the moment. Okay. Let's try to put this back where it's supposed to be. Hey, maybe now it'll, hold up. Maybe now I can get, this to work. Properties. Hey! Now it's working. Alright, and then view. Docs. YouTube chat. Now it's saying chat's disabled for the live stream. Like, what? I guess let's go custom browser. There we go. Okay. Now I have chat up for my OBS studio. Alright. She's making me sign in what? OBS is making me sign into my Gmail like I'm in a regular browser. Oh, it says it's not secure. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Chat's gonna be really confusing for me right now. I'm trying to do my best, but... Alright. I still good against non-light / dark decks. So the thing is with Bystials is that most of the decks using them are also playing lights and darks. So while they usually do get sided out in those matchups, like games 2 and 3, you can still use them game 1 with your own stuff. Because most people just don't care about using their own stuff or not. That was the last relevant fire archetype anyways. Salad? Believe so, yeah. Alright. Yeah, I don't know why, but like... Chat's just like, maybe if I refresh? If I refresh, will that fix it? Okay, cool. Alright. Woosah. My blood pressure's rising. Like I said earlier, like it's like the entire universe just does not want me to stream right now. But it looks like everyone said limited. So. Okay. Let's expand this a little bit. Alright. Anyways. That's it for Magnamhut. So. Next up. Oh god, do I have all of these? Please tell me I have all of these. I have literally none of these but like one. You can Bystial your own graveyard in response to their Bystial. Yeah. No, so I was playing against like a tier player. I think it was a tier player, I don't know. And I was trying to DD Crow their stuff, or like hit it with something, and they just kept Bystialing their own stuff. I think it was the one that opened Sewer Poly every game. Literally had a Bystial every time I tried to interact with their stuff, so I couldn't do anything to it. Because that was before the Ishizu stuff. They're on like a branded tier or something. Alright. Keldo, the Sacred Protector. Boom. Okay. So. Keldo is probably the best out of the two shufflers. Mainly because while it's in your hand, you can discard to add basically the other one. You can add Mudora. Or you can add, like, any of the other Ishizu cards as well. You can add, like, a Kelbeck to send off, like, a Sharon. You can add a Kelbeck to use as a hand trap or something. I'm going to... Burmy, I'm going to hide that chat. It was held for review. I'm going to hide it mainly just because of monetization reasons, just as a precaution. Way too recent to be hit? You think so? Because, like, admittedly, we did get it a little bit later than the OCG did in terms of, timeline-wise. Ishizu cards make you rule both graveyards, yeah. Like, not only can you disrupt your opponent, but you can also use it to recycle your own resources, so you never run out of resources. So, like, it's not even wrong. I feel like Keldo is a card I don't really like to explain too much. Like, it's just one of the Ishizu shufflers, and I'm also going to do the same thing for Mudora in a minute, so. What are we thinking for Keldo? Remember, this is not a wish list. This is a prediction list. What do we think Konami is going to do? Alright. While that's going on, why can I not download that? Ugh. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing later. Alright. Sincerely hope they correctly identified this and Mudora as the cards that cause the tier 0 meta. But at 1, it might be okay, so who knows? Very surprising amount of people saying to ban. I don't think they're gonna ban it, personally. Like, I honestly don't think they'll hit it at all, but if they do, definitely not a ban. I just want to play Drytron in peace. Between this and Magnamhut, like... yeah, there's a lot more people saying ban than I expected. That's wild. Tritrons are unplayable right now, Sag. Yeah, basically. Okay, honestly, so don't get me wrong. I hate the Ishizu cards as much as, like, everyone else. But, like, I'd be fine if they were both at 1. Like, if we were to do, like, a wish list or something, like, if both the Ishizu cards went to 1, I'd be perfectly fine. Because, like, they'd probably still see play in tier, obviously. But they'd be a lot more sacky. And, like, you wouldn't be able to use it, like, over and over and over again. And, like, not to mention that they have, like, a much less likelihood of hitting one of each. And, like, it's just it'd be very annoying. But, like, the decks that really want to use them, like, anything with, like, a Vernisil package, can still use them. You should ban all the Ishizu cards. Enzo, you, like, hate everything. It's like Squidward here. But anyways, it looks like most people are saying to 1. Yeah, being able to use them once. Yeah, so it means, like, if you do stop your opponent, then that's cool. But, like, if you don't, you have to be very careful in how you use it and what you use it on, because, like, between all the amount of disruptions that tier can have, especially considering these basically count as 3, like, a piece, you can basically just use this willy-nilly. And so Magic any card related to tier. Nah, Enzo's getting mad at, like, everything, bro. Not even just tier, just everything. Keldo and Mudora to 1 will be much healthier while keeping the deck strong. Yeah, I agree. Like, I wouldn't mind them at 1. Especially as someone that plays Tri-Brigade. Hype for the upcoming cooking ritual archetype and be all like, what was he cooking? Let him cook. Oh, he cooking. Never let mans cook again. Anyways. Next up, y'all know this song and dance. It's gonna be Mudora this time. So, Mudora, I believe... So, I think in the OCG, it's, Keldo's at 1, Mudora's still at 3, or maybe he's at 2 or something. Because he's arguably much weaker, because while Gravekeeper's Trap is, like, really strong, a lot of people still aren't playing the Gravekeeper's Trap, because, you know, they'd rather just go into Dweller if they want to lock down the graveyard. Not to mention that, especially when going second, Gravekeeper's Trap is just a massive brick. It's like the same excuse for playing, Exchange of the Spirit. Yeah, Makonko is really cool to play. I actually been testing with the Libromancer stuff now, this time, despite having not done so before. And it's really fun. Agido is the stronger miller than Keldo. Another Ishizu from Grape. You mean Kelbeck? Because, Kelbeck is the hand trap one. But anyways. So he has Agido and Keldo at 1, but Kelbeck and Mudora at 3. Yeah, that's what I figured. But, yeah, so Mudora is arguably weaker than Keldo, but it effectively does the same thing in the graveyard or on field. So, I'm assuming... Like, honestly, Mudora being at more copies is fine. Like, but what do we think Konami will do? I'm also a bit nervous when I speak my opinion on things before, because I feel like some people, they just hear what I say, and then they'll just, like, copy that. If I see any Ishizu hit, it'll be Kelbeck at 1, nothing else touch if it's a Miller in a hand trap. I don't know, man. I've been Kelbecked as a hand trap literally once, and it didn't do anything. You dueled Makonko Libra at locals yesterday, was really fun. Yeah, the deck is, like, really cool. Because, like, well, in its current state, because Fury and Bird aren't out, it's mostly just, like, the small Makonko engine. It's, like, I think it's Rondo, Uhime, and Makonko of Legend. Mudora places the Graveyard Floodgate Trap. Yeah, but, like, again, most people aren't even playing it because it's a brick. It's like Exchange of the Spirit. If they play it, they side it. Alright, we're at 50-50 right now. Exchange is also a win more option, isn't it? Yeah, depends, actually. I mean, sometimes having in the exchange, especially against a deck that really, really utilizes Graveyard, like Tri-Brigade or something, while you're also milling them, like, it can be, like, the perfect amount. But, like, exchange is just too much of a brick, honestly. Kelbeck can do some nasty stuff against Sprite. I mean, depends, like, yeah, if they sprint Angler, I mean, you can hit the sprint, but, like, at that point, they still have 2 level 2s, and that's still almost full combo. If they have literally any normal summon, then that's full combo. Or any other way to get a body out of hand. Heroes and Tears here, I'd play Kelbeck as a hand trap because I think it's cool. Alright, so it looks like the general consensus is mostly staying at 3. You know, it's like the second card this entire list that stayed at 3. I think everything else y'all have been, like, cutthroat about. But anyways, next up we have... I do have him. I know I have him. Yeah, there he is. Agido. Shoutouts to Alan Mac 95. I use this guy's art for literally everything. To be fair, if we're considering Cash Press 5 Stone Hypernova, considering Shuffle Fairies will actually be useful to shuffle back Kashtiras that are detached as materials. I mean, to be fair, the Kashtiras that are detached as materials are probably banished because of a Rise Heart. Unless we're talking, I know, with Kashtira. I guess, yeah, but I'd rather not draw Kashtiras late game. I get it on 1 or 2, probably. See, that's the interesting thing, though, because I've noticed that a lot of people over here in the TCG specifically are playing, like, 1 Agido or no Agido. Like, Agido is a card that I've seen not even see play in certain builds. They don't because of a weird interaction between macro... No, that's not how that works. No, they definitely get banished. Every card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. But, anyways, Agido, like, it's a card that, it's funny that it's limited over in the OCG, because, like, here in the TCG, like, I don't even see it used half the time, like, it's mostly just Kelbeck, because Kelbeck actually does something useful in the hand. Yeah, literally, who plays this? Yeah, it's so strange. Because, like, Kelbeck is arguably the better card. But, what do we think will happen? So, I almost put ban as the question. And leave him. Oh my god, Enzo, is this the first time you've been nice about a card? Confusing it for D-Fissure with... Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, too. I don't think D-Fissure banishes Xyz materials, because they're not treated as monsters. They're treated as materials. Dude, the Xyz materials zone is, like, one of the most, like, weird... It's, like, one of the trippiest things about the game. Like, it's so funny, because it's, like, the void. Like, it's not the field, but, like, they're also not treated as monsters. They're literally... They're there. I'm gonna ban, but most likely won't be. Also, hello. What's good, Mario Pro? Good to see you in chat. Honestly, this is a very diverse poll. We got 20% for ban, 20 for 1, 20 for 2, and 40 for 3. That's really interesting. But that looks like that's probably it for the poll. It looks like Agido is staying at 3, and honestly, I think that's fine. I don't think Agido was like a problem anyway, really. Do I have a picture for Kelbeck? F, G, H, I, J... Does not look like I have an image for Kelbeck. I'll have to go on to Google. Kelbeck the Ancient Vanguard. I thought we were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, not Vanguard. Alright, there we go. Kelbeck the Ancient Vanguard. So, this is the actually, like, mostly played, Miller. Usually from anywhere from 1 to 3. I've honestly seen, like, literally every ratio of Kelbeck except 0. And, I mean, it not only does it mill 5, but it can also, you know, bounce things as a hand trap. But I think the most interesting thing about Kelbeck, oh yeah, by the way, so on the topic of Agido, I think Agido is mostly seen in builds that play Exchange because it mills more. But when it comes to Kelbeck, instead of milling more, you get to reset a trap from grave, which actually does come up for things like Imperm, or for Tearlaments Solyek if it was sent to the grave earlier, Tearlaments Crime, things like that. Basically, Limbo, kind of like Face Down Monster by Floodgate, Trap Hole. And the alternative YG game formats where the card was popular. I love Floodgate Trap Hole. Hot take ban Solyek. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing a Solyek ban. Solyek's probably one of my least favorite parts about tier. Can only hit this because it says mill 5 and bounce, but leaving it at 3 would change absolutely nothing. Alright, well, first let me change the music. Actually, what do y'all feel like listening to? Something that's not copyrighted. Because, like, I feel like actually making money, so. And while I wait for that to get answered too, let's put up the poll. Kelbeck ban 1, 2, 3. I have so many Amazon tabs open. I'm looking for a cheap video editing laptop. Because, stuff off OC Remix. I don't know what that is. There's music playing out here. Not anymore. There's no music playing now. It literally just stopped. But there was music playing. There was, it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Lo-Fi. I'm okay with the Millers, but I hate the shufflebacks. About some video game OSTs. Video game OSTs are a bit iffy. Some of them are copyrighted, some of them aren't. Unless y'all want to listen to, like, Undertale music. Insert Vaporwave music title here. What if... Ooh, there's better... Alright. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I was going to do, like, an NCS playlist. Overclock Remix is the website where people make remixes of game OSTs. I never visited this website before. What game OSTs you want to listen to on Overclocked Remix? Imagine the shufflers were non-targeting. Oh dear god. Like does way too much and just makes boards harder to break because it divides the interaction between front row and back row, making it harder to pick apart overall. One of my biggest issues with Solyek, or two of them, it's permanent for the negation, and also it floats. Like, you can open, like, a Lightning Storm or something, and they have a bunch of back row set, and, like, oh, congratulations, they plussed anyway. They're just gonna get a Hovness, it doesn't matter. Like, songs I'm not completely sure about, though, Megas, since they have those songs on albums. See if they have Master Duel remixes. You want to listen to Master Duel, I have, like, every Master Duel track on my computer. Crypt of the Necro Dancer. I have never heard that in my life. But anyways, it looks like people are saying 1 Kelbeck. Oh god, my Photoshop is getting kind of clogged. Oh. That's not how I'm supposed to go. There we go. Yeah, this is also getting kind of clogged. We have, way too many things here. Y'all are very limit happy. Cards that I miss, I showed up at Mudora. Literally just Agido and Kelbeck. We said Agido was, like, kind of pointless, and then just Kelbeck. It's permanent negate. I didn't know about the Rhoda effect, though. Yeah. Like, literally, it's a permanent imperm that also triggers your tears, and if it's sent to the grave from any means, you just get to add anything. Any of these Ishizus at 1 is, like, putting the rulers to 1. It makes no sense. I mean, I disagree. Celeste OST... Everyone's Bestial Lubellion about to wonder if that's due to availability. People don't play Lubellion because Lubellion's an engine card rather than a disruptor. Like, Lubellion doesn't do anything on his own. But Lubellion is really, really good in branded Bestial. Like, you basically have to play 3. And then it's okay in Dragon Link as well. Because if you're playing the high Bestial engine with, like, the branded beasts and stuff. Let's see. He has 3 game soundtracks. We have 28 games on record. I don't really care for the music of any of those. Let's go to more. We. A lot of Zelda stuff on here, but we already did Zelda and Chill. I mean, we already could, like, if we want to listen to Zelda, we can just listen to more Zelda and Chill. Like, that's the big thing. Alright. I'm gonna start playing this list of remixes. Let's, Oh, Father, thou art somewhere, I don't know. Please don't let the Nintendo ninjas come and lob off my head for listening to Mario track number 72 remixed. It's, view all. Oh, no, not view all. That's, Alright. I think that'll autoplay. Terrible list is actually terrible list. I mean, hey, this is what chat's been saying. This ain't on me, this is chat. Someone meant the field spell lost with the Kashtira field spell because it searches Kashtira Tearlaments. Is Instant Fusion on your list for debate? It was not, but it should be, and it might have been there before. Hold up. I'll put that down after we do the next card. Zelda and Chill from Game Drops? Yeah. I use Zelda and Chill, like, literally all the time. I use it in a lot of my videos, and I use it for almost all of my streams now. How are Sprite, Cash, Labyrinth, and Despia Bestial doing in the OCG? Labyrinth is kind of like... It's in that limbo tied spot for, like, 3rd best deck. I don't know much about Branded Bestial. I think it's also in that same spot. Sprite is doing some Sprite things, but it's kind of like... It got, like, hit really bad. And then Kashtira is just doing Kashtira things with Tier. Okay, call us convenient level 5 for Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion isn't getting banned. A new B-Trooper Instant Fusion target has been announced. That is a fair point. But remember, the OCG is the one that reveals those. Like, that's why they have a bunch of, like, pendulum stuff that works with Electrumite, but we don't have Electrumite. Like... Okay. I think I keep, like, responding to too many people in chat at once. I never finish the thing I'm saying. Alright. Anyways, next card. This one, I think the image I have is an ulti, so it's gonna not look that great. Alright. Orange Light. So, Orange Light is interesting because a card that I completely forgot got put to 1. I was like, yeah, people are just playing the 1 of, but, like, it's because it's at 1. So Orange Light is a pretty interesting hand trap. Literally, it's a Gamma, but it's less specific by not having to have monsters. Or not having to not have monsters, sorry, I should say. But it's also a bit more specific because you have to have another fairy in hand. But by having another fairy in hand, that could potentially be an Ishizu Miller or even a Shuffler. So you end up either getting full combo or multiple disruptions off of 1. Not to mention that because it is a negate and destroy, it puts it leagues above some other hand traps. Similar to how Gamma, in formats where Gamma is good, Gamma is really good. Just because destroying is usually, I say usually in air quotes because right now negating and destroying typically sucks against tier. But negating and destroying is usually like massive, especially if you can do it before actually starting your turn. Limiting Kit Kat doesn't do much, if anything. Semi-limiting names doesn't hurt at all. Instant Fusion should be on there since Tasking is coming out and Ishizu should get hit. Yeah, no, Tasking sucks though. Like, unironically, Tasking is a bad card. Don't at me. And, so the reasoning for limiting Kit Kalos was because, so people are playing 2 Kit Kalos again, or they're starting to play 2 Kit Kalos again because of Diablosis and Kashtira Unicorn. And so if it's put to 1, that means they don't have that safety, meaning that it's a much more fragile to cards like that. Do these hit 2 Master Duel once, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, Master Duel's been doing pretty good for their ban list. Like, they don't usually address everything at once, but they've been addressing a lot of the problem cards, and they even, like, address the adventure stuff early. Are you reading the same card? Tasking is insane. No, tasking sucks. Like, literally, if you want to use a card that does what tasking does, just play Triple T, because you could literally draw into the thing you're looking for and more, but you can also get a hand rip or a steal. Like, tasking is just a bit too specific. Running Herald's so good enough to sack with drawing the one of Herald. Would reducing Ishizu cards impact whether you'd run Herald? I feel like reducing the Ishizu cards absolutely would impact, and that's the big thing about making this list, is that I noticed a lot of you, like, really like limiting cards, and so, like, then when it comes to other things, it's like we end up doing, like, things that don't need to happen because other hits happen. What are we saying huh to, Mario? Does he know? What's going on? What's going on? 3 talents, 3 tasking? I mean... Like, tasking's only good for going second, though, is the thing. Like, I don't think y'all realize that your opponent has to have a monster for tasking to let you use the thing. Like, it literally only really, like, works out when you're going first if your opponent uses, like, a Hobnus. Has the adventure engine been power creeped? I wouldn't say it's been power creeped that bad. The biggest thing is that this format isn't great for it. Alright, anyways, I should do the poll. Keep in mind that Orange Light is currently at 1. You know, if I felt like my internet could take it, I'd probably go to ultra low latency instead of just low latency. I don't know if my internet could handle that, though. Without, like, buffering occasionally. Like, not bad buffering, but, like, occasional buffering. A lot of people saying stay at 1. Yeah, that's fair, honestly. That's real fair. I think the same thing, especially if we're already hitting all the cards that we are hitting. By the way, let me close out some of these other excess tabs. Okay. And then this can also leave. That was for something else I was working on earlier. Do you think Konami will unban Fairy Dragon this list? We'll talk about that later, but personally, I feel like it depends on when they can cram Ancient Fairy Dragon into a set. Like with the errata. So we might wait, like, I don't know when Maze of Memories is actually, so that's probably when they're gonna reprint it. So I feel like whenever, like, the nearest they can reprint the Ancient Fairy Dragon is when they'll bring it back. Alright, yeah, it looks like most of us agree, you can just stay at 1. Yeah, Orange Light's fine, honestly. But anyways, after that, sorry I completely forgot about it. Maze of September 2023. Yeah, is it? Wow. No way. They revealed that, like, the end of last year. They wouldn't reveal something, like, a whole year earlier. Yeah, no, it's March. I'm like, huh? Yeah, there'd be no way they'd reveal something, like, a whole year in advance. Alright. Anyways, luckily enough, I have an Instant Fusion image. But yeah, so I think this was initially on my first list in my notepad document, but the problem was that I lost the file, so I had to remake it. So it kind of slipped my mind. Yeah, where did you see September? I'm confused. Maybe you like thinking of a different product that released last year in September? I don't know. Maybe someone with the Gate Guardian? Yeah. They still haven't revealed it yet. I think they showed the artwork? I don't remember. Sorry if I take a minute, sorry if I'm out of the loop for certain things in chat, though, by the way. Like, I have low latency, but, like, not ultra low latency on, so I'm not, like, perfectly in sync with y'all. But anyways, so Instant Fusion, let's see if I zoom in. Nope, way too far I am. But Instant Fusion This card's ancient. Literally released in all the way in Cyberdark Impact. Probably the only good card out of that set. It's seen its play here and there. I think it's been at a few different ratios on the ban list. I don't remember. But, I don't remember when it was. But Instant Fusion went to 1, it was like a couple years ago, right? I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it was for. But basically, unless it was like last year. But Instant Fusion is just such a powerful card in formats where it's good. Because literally just getting a free Fusion Summon for level 5 or lower is huge for certain decks that have a lot of things with starter effects like that. Predaplant, Anvil Meliodas, the new Bee Trooper Fusion, and then of course Tear specifically. And the thing is, it's like, Instant Fusion on its own isn't usually the worst thing. Let me know if the music's too loud or quiet, by the way, because it's kind of loud in my ear, but I know it's different from y'all. But, like, the problem with Instant Fusion is that sometimes certain decks can abuse it, like, really bad. And I think right now, it's probably the best example of that, but being able to summon Kit Kalos, especially through things like Shifter even, to get something for later, like, without having to go through all the, like, hoops to jump through, it's just crazy. Instant Fusion went to 1 on the April 2020 list. Okay, yeah. No music at all. That should be fixed then. Play Cody, Ready Fusion's great in there. Nah, play Bee Trooper, summon Quagger Hercules. Ready Fusion's using Thunder Dragon and Sharks, and some Sprite Trialist. Okay, I guess it was too quiet. Huh. Interesting. I hope Mama Susan doesn't come in with the copyright hammer and, like, bonks me. Turn the volume up, I think I hear it a little. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, what are they summoning off of Ready Fusion and Sprite Tri? Is it, Alvice? Alright, anyways. I don't think anyone would ever want this card to come to more unless they're playing it in their pet deck, so... Do we think it's going to get banned, or is it going to stay at 1? And while you guys vote in that, I'm going to spit out my gum. Instant Fusion's the only good from us. A good card from Cyberdark Impact Red Barrier statues. Nah, the barrier statues I think are a bit too specific. Like, Instant Fusion's seen way more play than barrier statue. Banned if Kit Kalos stays. I think it's because of the hit to Sprite starter than in the OCG. That makes a lot of sense, actually, for level 2. I think that's another reason why the runic cards are so good in Sprite. Like, not just because, you know, hitting things, but mainly just because you get a level 2 for free. And then, like, the draw power and everything. Any strong arguments to ban it, but Konami being Konami, I think it stays at 1. Is Stormwind's on this list? Yeah, we'll talk about Barrier Statue later. We're at a current 50-50 split in the poll. Cyberdark Impact isn't the worst set in history. I mean, yeah, I can think of Duelist Pack Dimensional Guardians, but for the most part, Cyberdark Impact was terrible. My tea's cold. I was too busy chewing my gum and then getting frustrated with the issues with stream. Hey, the difference is Duels from the Deep actually gave us, like, a meta deck. Like, Marincess was actually really good. And then not to mention, Droplet is still a good reprint. It's like, people say Duels from the Deep is bad and then ignore the fact that Marincess was actually good. Alright. I think that's the most votes we'll be getting, so staying at 1 it is. Let me close out that tab. After that... Oh, convenient. We were just talking about this. Let me... Why is everything so zoomed out? Go to extra large icons. Okay. Barrier statue. People ignore that Mathmech was actually good. I mean, Mathmech was good post Power of the Elements, but, like, Mathmech never did anything after its initial release. Like, it was, I think maybe it topped an event because it was an OTK deck. Because, like, most OTK decks, like, how Orcust with Boil Sword and stuff was good. They top, like, usually one event until everyone, like, realizes you can just shoot him in the face with a shotgun, and then you win. Whatever set Prosperity was in, had, like, nothing else playable in it. Blazing Vortex gave us Tri-Brigade Kit. Never speak again. Strowman's in rank 7 decks like Toons and Kashtira is pretty nutty, but you can just run the thing over in a lot of decks. See, that's the interesting thing with Barrier Statue, in my opinion. Like, Barrier Statue it's a really strong card. Like, if your opponent can't out it, they can't out it. But it's not like something like Winda, where, you know, not only is it pretty large, but it also has destruction protection. Like, Barrier Statue literally dies to, like, 95% of normal summons. And so, it's a very interesting case, because, like, it's similar to Apo, in that usually you just use your battle phase to get rid of it, and then do all your other things in main phase too. But it is a good way to bait the battle phase, and not to mention, it is a card where it's like, if you don't have an out, then it's really frustrating. It's been a problem card for 2 times. Banned this thing already. Last one, then I'm heading out. Ban this unholy card. Flu's still playable if this is banned. It just makes it much less annoying. Anyway, see you later, Burmy. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. I guess to resummon Unicorn after summoning the Berry Statues. Catcher have a way to remove your normal summon if you try to normal and beat over it. They have Fenrir if you use a monster effect after that. I don't know if they have anything explicitly that can get rid of something, like, immediately. I don't know, I feel like the Barrier Statue playing Cash is either a side deck relegated thing, or it's a bit too jank. Like, it's really funny, but it's kind of gimmicky. Because, like, it's not really part of their main game plan. Like, I think they'd much rather just go Diablosis to get extra zone blocks and a rip. Anyways, though, do we think it'll be banned or stay at 3? Because there's no way it's going to any other ratio. Oh, it's not like Flu where they use map and remove the normal summon sounds strong. Yeah, so that is the thing with Flu as well. Because Flu, they can either use map if you normal summon, they can use Dreaming Town. They have a bunch of different ways to access their, either they're going to use their continuous spell, Unexplored Winds, and they're going to out the thing you normal summon, or they're going to just use Ryza to just stack it back on top or bounce it to your hand, which is a big issue for a lot of decks. 78% say ban. My new favorite meme is Ibly and Sprite Brigade. Yo, before Sprite was revealed, I was actually playing Ibly and Sprite Brigade. Like, I was coping on Sprite Brigade, like, as soon as Sprite was revealed. It only plays Fluid Gates. Oh my god. But yeah, before Sprint was revealed, I was playing Sprite Brigade, and I was using the Ibly lock, and it was like the main win con. I eventually took it out because it was like really bricky and annoying, but it is pretty funny. For some reason, I thought Kit was Lightning Overdrive. Bear Brum was Lightning Overdrive. That's why you thought that. I actually thought both were Blazing Vortex, but no. It was, all the main stuff came out in Phantom Rage, and then Kit was Blazing Vortex, and then I think some cards like Rendezvous that include Kit in the artwork. And then, we got Bear Brum in Lightning Overdrive, and I don't know if we got anything else Tri-Brigade related in that set. Be surprised when people don't just attack into the Lingeribo. Alright, so it looks like 83% say ban. Remember, y'all, we only have so much room on this ban list, and I don't know if Konami's gonna do a mass ban hammer. This music sounds familiar. I know it's from Zelda or something, or maybe this is Galaxy. Is this Galaxy? No, this is Zelda. But it feels familiar in general. Yeah, this better not be copyrighted, bro. If I get copyright struck, I'm like screaming at all of you. Target impacted Instant Fusion, Barrier Statues, Black Horn of Heaven, Snipe Hunter, Vanity's Fiend, and the infamous Change Strike. Alright. Anyways, what's next up on our thing? I think there's less a prediction and more of a wish list. And see, I keep telling chat, y'all, this is a prediction, not a wish list. Like, come on. Because we have to think, like, Konami is very stingy sometimes. But anyways, next up on the chopping block, this is the only thing I have here for Sprite, because honestly, I think Sprite is a perfectly fine and, for the most part, fair deck. Like, I feel like, I mean... Actually, no, there's going to be another thing on here for Sprite. There's going to be another thing on here for Sprite. But I feel like for the most part, Sprite's perfectly fine, at least the engine itself. So, Sprite Elf. Elf is arguably the strongest card from the entire archetype, because not only is it really good in general for Sprite, it is really busted overall by letting any deck that utilizes level 2s to revive things from their graveyard and give things targeting protection. It's of course known really well for being used to summon Merly and Tear for an additional disruption on the opponent's turn by milling 3. And you can also summon back Link 2s like IP Mask Arena for later use for the effect. You can also summon back like powerful rank 2s and everything like Toadally Awesome. And then obviously you can summon back level 2s for your engine pieces, like in Tri-Brigade you can summon back Kit and Karis. Let's see. Band, I think it'll go to 1 for a little bit, and then ban if it goes out of hand with Tribe. Okay, that's pretty fair, that's pretty fair. But, let's go ahead and see what the poll says. We have Elf, ban, 1, 2, 3. Because Elf has seen play in literally every ratio except for 1, so hitting it to anything seems plausible. If it goes to 1, it only hits Sprite and other decks that can benefit at 1 copy. Ban it. That's actually fair. Yeah, if it goes to 1, literally the only thing you're doing is, like, hurting Sprite significantly, and then every other deck that uses it is just fine anyway. Which I feel like is kind of unfair. You can consider reborning Mass to use it again. The only thing I've heard is reborning Toad to get another gate. Yeah, so you can literally reborn IP and then just, like, use its effect again. Doesn't hit any... Yeah, it only hits Sprite. Like, at all. 25% say ban, 38% say 1, 11 say 2, and then 22 say 3. Interesting, we have a very diverse poll here this time. Ooh, got more people saying put it to 1. Y'all don't like Sprite at all, do you? Damn. I like Sprite. I think Sprite's actually a really fair deck. I think it's really cool for the game because it literally says that any deck that uses level 2s, like a Gishki especially, I'm really excited for Gishki. Like anything can like take advantage of the extra deck pieces and the main deck pieces. Sprite's already struggling, chat wants to ban Elf, ain't no way. Hey now, Sprite just won the Latin American Remote Duel YCS that nobody knew was going on. I love Sprite, but Elf is insane. I just went Starter Limited, honestly. I think Starter's fine. I think Starter is probably one of the most fair out of all the E-Telly cards because it's the hard ones per turn and the life point loss is actually massive. The amount of times that I've OTK'd Sprite players because they used Starter and lost the life points is like wild. Not to mention in the grind game, if they end up getting taken a lot of damage or they use Starter too much, they can't use Starter without literally killing themselves. Either 3 are banned, but ban is harsh Sag. Alright, it looks like y'all want Elf put to 1. Okay. Let's go Banlist. Y'all, our limited section can only get so big. Starter to 1 and no Elf practically kills the deck, though. Yeah, honestly. No Starter would... Or Starter to 1 and then no Elf would literally... Sprite wouldn't be playable. It'd be a small niche engine for certain decks. Alright, so this is what our list is looking like currently. It didn't in OCG became Sprite Brigade. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have more than one starter. Like, is that how it looks like? Not to mention that Sprite Brigade only did like pretty good for like a little while. Let's give Tear Reborn Merly and Sprite no follow-up real. Alright. Anyways, next up on the chopping block. So I said at first that was going to be the only thing we talk about for Sprite. But there's another thing that... Because I was saying that Sprite was fair, but there's something that makes people disagree. And that's the Cursed One. For Tier, they use Sprint Descend, yeah? I think so, sometimes. I don't know. I think some builds do. But anyways, the boy, or I should say, I think it's a mother and a child, yeah. I think Master will confirm this is a mom and a child. So, keep in mind, y'all just put Elf to 1. Toad is a card. It's been to 1 before, funnily enough. Actually, Wasn't Toad banned before, or was it just at 1? I think it was just at 1. But anyways, Toad's been at 1 before, and people have been asking for this card to be banned because they feel like it's the thing about Sprite that makes it stupid. Honestly, I feel like Toad, it's probably one of my favorite boss monsters. It's very strong. Like, don't get me wrong, this is probably one of the strongest boss monsters a deck can have. But to an extent, I feel like only certain decks can really make use out of it, you know, like Bahamut Shark and everything. If Toad is banned, Sprite has, like, nothing. 1 seems fair. Oh, no. So, like, I'm saying Toad has been at 1. Not to put it to 1. Like, no one's using Toad, no one's summoning more than 1 Toad except decks that are bad. Yeah, Toad and ABC went to 1 randomly. I just remember it being banned at one point as well, but I guess I'm tripping. But basically, I feel like Toad... how many Toad is usually run now? Just 1. You literally only play 1 Toad, y'all. Like, you only needed the 1. Like, if you played 2, you were bad. Since we're putting Elf to 1 Toad has to go, you're actually just killing Sprite. Like, you literally... One sec. One sec. Let me... I can't pull up a video of it because I'd have to mess around with my OBS. But like, we already pulled up... Hold up, chat. You just did this to Sprite. Like, this was like 1 Elf, and then this was banned Toad, and y'all are like literally jumping in here. Like, murdering poor Sprite. But okay. Are we banning Toad? Or are we keeping it at 3? What's our list currently looking like? See if anything else would fit there. Okay, no. Not to mention, 1 Magna kind of hits Sprite as well, but... We hit tier, we can't hit Sprite too hard. A tier will still be the best deck, and the OCG is proof, yeah. I mean, to be fair, for 1 event, because people were too scared to use tier, Sprite was the best deck again over in the OCG. Specifically Sprite Brigade. But, like, then it immediately went down to, like, the 2nd best deck. Okay. It looks like most people are saying that 3 Toad is still fine. Okay, yeah, I agree. I feel like Toad's fine. Especially, y'all already put Elf at 1. Like, to ban Toad would literally just be overkill. Tier's best in the OCG because they still have Ishizu cards. They barely have any Ishizu cards. They got 1 Keldo, 1 Agido, and then they have 3 Mudora, 3 Kelbeck. And, like, it's not even the Ishizu card. They're literally using a bunch of different engines to facilitate their tier stuff. Like, they're already using the Kashtira cards, but now they're using it to make Draco sack and then go into Cherubini. Yeah, it was 2020 when it got put to 1. Assume Toad is still using Spray. Yeah. So it became harder to make Toad, and then Sprint came out, so it didn't matter. Literally, any 1-card combo that nets you the 2 bodies on board to make Sprint, so Beaver, Starter, anything like that. Anything that gets you 2 bodies is Toad, because you go into Sprint. Sprint dumps Nimble Angler. Nimble Angler summons 2 Nimble Beavers. Use Sprint and Beaver to go into Gigantic. Gigantic detaches to summon Swap. Swap dumps a 2nd one. You use the other Beaver and the Gigantic to go into Elf. Elf summons the other Swap, and then you just overlay into Toad. Someone says Toad actually was the list with Instant Fusion. Oh, okay. So, Instant Fusion went to 1 because Master Roll Revision. Okay. If no Toad Pan, then unlock the Shock Damage. Alright. Anyways, looks like we're keeping the children. Or I guess the mother and the child and the orange. More importantly, we're keeping the orange. The orange is safe. Praise be to the back orange. But anyways, he just wants violence. Alright. Next up. So the next deck that we have to think about. Let's go open... Okay. Next up, we have Kashtira Fenrir. Can I zoom in on this one? I'll zoom in on this one. Yippee. But anyways, so Kashtira is about to receive their newest wave of support. And the newest wave of support makes it a really strong deck. It's definitely, like I said, it's going to be like the Thunder Dragon of this format, where Thunder Dragon wasn't the best deck, but it was there as a way to check some of the other decks. Like, Thunder Dragon was really good against Sky Striker, which was the best deck, because of something like Colossus, whereas Kashtira is really good against Tearlaments because of a Rise Harp being a walking macro and everything like that. And so, Kashtira is definitely going to be a tier 1 deck, but probably on the lower end of things because it is very weak to equalizers and to an extent multiple hand traps. But the main thing to think about is, are we going to see a hit to the current Kashtira cards a little bit early? Because if the list comes out in early to mid-February to like early March, then that would be a little bit of an early hit to the cards before the support like really starts kicking up. Or are they just going to let it have some full power time before they end up hitting it a little bit? So we see 1, Fenrir to 1. If Herman Stratus had to go, so was Fenrir. Too soon to hit Fenrir and Unicorn. Well, I didn't know Fenrir's Banish was also on its own attack declaration. Yeah, all of the Kashtiras also do that. On attack declaration or opponent using, or if an opponent uses a monster effect, not when. No, Konami, they'd semi-Fenrir, real. But the thing is also with Fenrir that we have to think about specifically is that even ignoring Kashtira, a lot of other decks are using Fenrir sort of like a much stronger Pankratops, because not only can it search another copy of itself, but getting to banish any of your opponent's face-up cards face down is really strong, and you can use it multiple times, because you can use it once during that turn, once during the next turn. It's a really good end board piece and really good for breaking boards going second. So the real question is, are they going to hit Fenrir? And if so, how hard? Let's throw the poll up there. Konami has to sell Hypernova. I don't see him going to 1 until 6 months. I don't know, dude. There's a lot of things to sell Hypernova. Hypernova is looking to be one of the greatest sets in a while. Most likely going to still be at 3. But yeah, like, dude, Hypernova has so much awesome stuff. Like, not only is Kashtira getting the wave of support to become another tier 1 archetype and a check tier, but we're also getting a bunch of legacy support. We're getting, like, Yord, we're getting all the Galaxy Eye stuff, we're getting the new generators, the new Evil Eye stuff. God, what's the other ones? The new Dogmatica stuff. Like, there's a lot. That'll be hit at the moment. I'd say stay at 3. Depends on the ban list. Generator foggers. I didn't know we had Dire in my chat. When Plunder gets famous, then Droplet's going to be demanded to be hit more than before. Droplet's so good in Plunder. I promise once I get my hands on all the Plunder stuff, especially including Yord and the Punk stuff, I will get a Punk Plunder list out for y'all. I really want to do one. It's so fun. But alright. It looks like Fenrir is going to be staying at 3. So, next up then, after Fenrir, we have Unicorn. So, Unicorn is not seeing as much play as Fenrir. It is seeing play in some niche Kashtira engines in certain decks like Tier already, before the new support comes out. But Unicorn is much more interesting in the fact that Unicorn is what facilitates the 1-card combos for Kashtira. And also, not to mention, the fact that on top of Diablosis, you can easily rip 2 or more cards from your opponent's extra deck. That's also really strong, but the biggest thing is definitely the fact that Unicorn ends up getting full combo for you. It and the field spell, so basically 7 different cards, easily let you access their 1-card combo into, like, a zone block with the Shangri-La, which summons something from the deck, and then you make a Rise Harp, and then you can also... I think you also get something else from that was material, so you actually get 2 bodies on board. So, like, if you used a Unicorn and a Fenrir to make your Shangri-La, you can get literally a Unicorn and a Fenrir on your end board as well. Unicorn searches Birth, which lets you recycle. I mean, yeah, it searches Birth, but, like, the biggest thing is that it searched Papyrus. Like, Papyrus is literally the card that facilitates their full combo. If Fen's at 3, Unicorn's still at 3. Shangri-La blocking any pen zone, Sag. Yeah, just don't play Pendulum, easy. I just realized on my tier list, I put Draco Slayer at 1.5, and I didn't even realize Kashtira can literally just block off the pen scales. That's so funny. But anyways, let's go ahead and throw up the poll for Unicorn. What do we think is going to happen to Unicorn? Man, I like had a whole sandwich, and I'm still hungry. We got a few people saying to 1. A lot of people saying still gonna stay at 3, though. That's valid. That's valid. Look at the next card on the list. Okay. And in shambles. Okay, yeah. It looks like most people are saying it's going to stay at 3, which is honestly, that's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. Yeah, I don't think this poll needs to go on much longer. It looks like Unicorn is still going to stay at 3 copies. So next up is definitely something that's going to be on a lot of people's mind. Oh, one sec. I tried to open the wrong document. Where is it? There we go. Diablosis the Mind Hacker. So this is a very interesting card. So even now, before Kashtira gets its new support, Diablosis is seeing play to rip the one-of-Kit Kalos or toolbox pieces out of Tearlaments and other decks in order to just completely get rid of either their toolbox pieces or to just completely get rid of their consistency with the Kit Kalos being gone. Not to mention also being able to rip off the top of the deck. You know, we've seen the Ishizu cards are already a problem for any non-tier or non-heavy graveyard-based deck, but the thing about Diablosis is that instead of sending to grave, it rips from the top face down. And depending on what deck the opponent's playing, like if they're playing something with like Desires or something like that, or Small World, you can rip even more from the top of your opponent's deck because it's literally during either player's turn, and it also works when you swing at things. Man, I have a good feeling. Works very well in Kashtira, but probably won't be hit as hard as other support if it gets hit this list. Plus 4-ton Hypernova can get banned possibly. So the thing is with Diablosis is like now Kashtira is going to make this card absolutely stupid. Like this is absolutely dumb. So if you didn't know, I told you Kashtira has the 1-card combos. They need to see either the field spell, terraforming, or the unicorn to easily access a 1-card combo that they can also do even without the 1 card. However, if they open the 1-card combo plus literally any extender, because of Diablosis, they're going to be blocking 3 of your zones. A Rise Heart's going to be at a bunch of materials. Then there's the Shangri-La's obviously going to be there. The Diablosis is going to be there. And they're going to rip, like, 1 thing from your extra deck, but then also they're going to rip, like, 7 things off the top of your deck. It's absolutely bonkers. Have you seen the Light Force Sword tech for cash? Yeah. So also, if you open Light Force Sword on top of that, before your draw phase is even done, they can rip a card from your hand and then steal it with the Rise Heart anyway, so that you can't get it back later. And they get to rip more off the top of your deck with Diablosis, and they block the last 2 zones. So you literally lose all of either your Spell and Trap or your Monster zones. I feel like this is probably one of the dumbest cards that we could see for a while, even now, but especially post-Photon Hypernova. I think this is a card that is very ban-worthy. That's just my opinion, though. Do we think it's going to be banned either slightly post-Hypernova, or do we think it's going to stay at 3? I've been running that for ages, and only now am I not craving for using Light Force world we live in. That's so funny. Because keep in mind, we're, like, obviously, I don't think a list is going to drop before they even drop Photon Hypernova. So we have to think, like, this is probably going to happen after Hypernova. I've seen some people asking for this to be gone before YCS Leon, which I don't know when that is, or Lion, whatever it is. Try getting some Light Forces at a new to me LGS, and they took the Light Forces out of my bulk pile. A lot of people saying it's still going to be at 3. How else Kashtira play around hand traps? Can you still get Shangri-La, Rise Heart plus Diablosis after 1 or 2 interruptions? It depends on their hand. Like, if they only open the 1-card combo, then obviously, if you, like, Ash them through Papyrus, then they're probably going to sit there. But they have a lot of different extenders. They have Scareclaw Kashtira, Tearlaments Kashtira, Kashtira Birth plus any normal summon. Rise Heart in hand can be an extender that gets them into a free Shangri-La. Like, it's probably less likely that they get access to the full combo with the Diablosis and everything. But to access the Shangri-La and the Rise Heart, it's pretty easy, honestly. I came with Fenrir. Yeah, so the biggest problem with Kashtira extending is that most of their things require no monsters on board, but that's why you just max out on Tearlaments Kashtira and Scareclaw Kashtira. And then Birth is also really good. Because, like, if you open, like, Unicorn, Birth, or, like, Unicorn, Papyrus or something, and then, like, Fenrir, then you can easily play through Ash and stuff like that, because you can just get the Fenrir on board and do full combo anyway. Diablosis being a prize card tend to be very meh, have potential later on. Alright, so it looks like people are still saying it's going to be at 3. Interesting. I feel like this is definitely a ban-worthy card, but the Banish Mill getting larger every turn scares the hell out of me. No, for real. I was playing this poor Numeron player. So they used, like, double Widow Anchor on me in the standby phase, right? They Widow Anchored the Shangri-La, and they Widow Anchored the Rise Heart. But the problem was, not only does Shangri-La still block their zones, like, even if you Dark Ruler a Shangri-La, it's still blocking your zones, but also, they didn't hit the Diablosis, and then I chained a Rise Heart to the Widow Anchor and banished the Widow Anchor. Before they even made it to their main phase, I had ripped over half of their deck, and I blocked all of their zones, or all, I think all but one of their zones. Kept Fenrir and Unicorn at 3, may as well keep this. Oh yeah, that's why people are wanting Leon to have this hit. Are you going to make a standalone video about this list we're making? Maybe. Maybe. It depends, though. My schedule's going to be a lot more wacky when it comes to making videos, because I'm going to have to stay with my grandma for 1 or 2 nights a week to help her out around the house, so when it comes to making content, it'll probably be a lot less consistent than I would like it to be. But it looks like everyone's saying we're keeping Diablosis to 3. Wild. Shangri-La being once per chain is wild. Do you mean a Rise Heart? Because Shangri-La is the one that blocks zones. Unless you just mean that in general also, because it doesn't say once per chain, but a Rise Heart does. But I think you just mean being not once per turn. Yeah, okay. A Rise Heart. But those are the only things I had in mind specifically for Diablosis. So let's go ahead and get on to some regular random cards. I don't think I have a file for this next one. Yeah, no. Let's go. Yes, we just got like some random free agent cards to throw in now. Let's not import. Let's just copy paste this one. Ancient Fairy Dragon. So as we know, Ancient Fairy Dragon recently got an errata over in the OCG, and they have it, I believe, at 1 now. I think they're just gonna slowly put it 1, 2, 3, and now. It's, like, obviously we're going to get the errata here as well, but do you think we're going to get the Ancient Fairy Dragon to 1, or are we going to get it straight to 3? And do you think we're going to get it next list, or are we going to have to wait a few lists? 3 because the errata makes it no worky work. Yeah, but, like, the OCG has it at 1, don't they? It's going to be crazy in Dragon Link? Really? What track is this? What am I listening to? Oh, it's Metroid. Pop Boot Sector Search Ravine. Oh, that's nasty. Level 7, so how... I feel like you forgot Destrudo exists. Destrudo is literally an instant level 7 synchro. Your errata makes it not search any field spell that was on the field prior. Yeah, Destrudo's a really good card. Looks like most people are saying it's going to go to 1. I feel like I agree with that. The main thing is, like, whether or not it would stay banned now, and, like, we'd have to wait another list, or, like, I don't know. Definitely go to 1 as soon as the errata is available. Yeah, that's, like, the main thing. Y'all, we are officially, out of room for the limited section. Searches Necro Valley after the combo? You're gross. You're gross. That's nasty. Alright, next up. Alright, this is an interesting one. Next up on our list, probably one of my least favorite cards in the game. This is coming from someone that actually played Flu and had to use it. Dimension Shifter. So, basically, Shifter is a card that, on release in the 2019 Megatins, along with Nibiru and Dark Ruler... Wait, it was 19? I swear, for some reason my brain thought it was 20. But along with Nib, Dark Ruler, and itself, it came out as one of the promos. And it was terrible back then. It wasn't terrible, but very few decks could actually take advantage of it. And very few would even want to, because they'd rather use hand traps, and, like, you'd probably end up using the hand traps before that. I don't know. I don't know what people were on back then. But now Dimension Shifter, while I don't think it's going to be as amazing come next format, it's definitely still a very stupid card, and against certain matchups can easily just auto-win. Does Kashtira also run Shifter? They literally, dude, they love their stuff getting banished. Kashtira and Flu are both going to be Shifter.deck, and like, it's so good even without Shifter. I forgot to put it in, but with Shifter, it's even stronger, because unlike Flu, they kind of want their stuff banished, so they can add it back with Toucan, but they also kind of don't, because they want Shri to have things engraved to banish. But Kashtira literally benefits off getting their stuff banished, because Papyrus and Big Bang float if they're banished. They can play through... No, they're absolutely running Shifter. Pure Kashtira, Shifter the hell out of people. Thunder Dragon did kind of use it on release, but it didn't really do anything. That was the weird thing. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of reactions to this. So, let's go ahead. Up. I think I accidentally... One sec, that poll wasn't supposed to go up. Supposed to go... There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Think of IP Masquerena. I mean, what about IP Masquerena? Do we think it's ban-worthy? No. If it's good, it's pretty good. She cute? Kind of cute. There's a ton of people hate Shifter. I don't think Konami will do anything and leave it at 3. OCG is Shifter at 2. Ugh, it's so weird. I mean, I guess it does make it less consistent, like, but still. Y'all are thinking they're gonna ban it? Really? Like, I feel like eventually, because Kashtira can play it and they really like it, I feel like eventually they're gonna have to address the elephant in the room. They can't just ignore it. Yeah, it's like Mystic Mine. So, like, I feel like with the amount of representation we'll probably be seeing, like, I feel like maybe they might hit it. No. Traptrix post structure is not gonna want to play Shifter. Traptrix could play Shifter before and it was still bad. Twigs, is that you? Are you hiding behind a different account? This person named Twigs on my Twitter was like trying to convince me to play Shifter and Traptrix, and I was like, no. It completely shuts off like half of your stuff. Like, it literally shuts off. Like, it makes Holtea terrible. It shuts off Dionea. It shuts off Vesiculo. Because you can't send for cost. It shuts off Allure. Not Allure of Darkness, but Traptrix Allure. It's neat that the structure has evenly. Yeah, it shuts off Rafflesia. Yeah, the evenly reprint is really nice. D-Shifter aged the best or the worst out of all the Tim promos? I don't know. I feel like none of them aged... I mean, it aged the worst at first, but, like, now I feel like Dark Ruler and Nib are a lot less specific is the main thing. Like, yeah, right now, Nib is, like, pretty bad, and then Dark Ruler is not the best thing you can play, but they're always going to have some format where they're good, whereas Shifter is a bit more spotty than that, in my opinion. Okay, so it looks like most of you... Oops, sorry if you could hear me hit the microphone there. So it looks like a lot of you seem to say ban. Nib literally crushes Cash. Oh, absolutely. I mean, Dark Ruler is also pretty good against Cash. The problem is that your zones are still blocked. So, like, if they don't go for Diablosis combo, then Dark Ruler is pretty good. But, like, other than that... but yeah, no, Nib is, like, super good against Cash. And it's a little bit better against Cash tier as well, because they also use the Kashtira cards, like Unicorn and that. So, like, you can at least hit them a little bit easier. But also, the main thing is that there's going to be a lot more decks in general come post-Photon Hypernova, because, let me probably put this on the list, huh? But there's going to be a lot more decks in general post-Photon Hypernova. It's going to be a lot more of a diverse format, in my opinion. So I feel like it's definitely going to be a lot better than it was. Like, Nib's definitely going to be a lot better. Okay. So, this is our list so far. This isn't everything. We have a few more. But just let this sink in. Let this sink in, y'all. This is what we're doing. I feel like some of you, whatever you're on, give me some. I would love to feel what you're feeling. But next, Okay, I don't know. Do I have this file? I think I do. Blah, blah, blah. Where's the bees? I do. Well, chat predicted shifter ban with macro and die-fi just went to 3. Real. I didn't even realize that. That's so funny. The difference is that though macro and die-fi are significantly worse than shifter. But anyways, next up we have Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. What if we go fit on screen? I should have been doing fit on screen. But anyways, Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. So, the thing is with the Dragon Rulers, personally, we all discussed this in the previous Banlist discussion stream. We said that literally all of the Dragon Rulers can come to 1 and be fine. But specifically, they actually haven't released one since Tempest, and I think that was like 2020, 2021, something like that. And the PTSD kicks in. Dragon Rulers enables Kashtira stuff? No, they don't. Dragon Rulers suck in Kashtira. Blaster getting more fuel as announced today. Yeah, so like that's the big thing though. Is like I feel like because the announcement of the fire one, and because Blaster is technically the worst one out of the 3 that are still on the list, I feel like Blaster could potentially come to 1 next list. And like honestly though, Blaster could come to 3, and then like Tidal and Redox could probably come to 1 and be perfectly fine. But like, but we're just thinking about what do we think that wait, why is the word dimension shifter just typed out in chat for me? But the main thing is that do we think that it'll actually come to 1? Would Dragon Rulers be used frequently because of the amount of bestials, so you'd always have enough dragons in hand engraved to summon them? No. No. Tempest came back around? No, they didn't. Tempest didn't come back around Rising Rampage. Rising Rampage was too early. Took 17 years for Yada to come back. Unbanned Tempest. It was July 2019. And Rising Rampage... Oh. It was July 2019. You're right. I was thinking... Rising Rampage, I always mix up with Raging Tempest. So, That or I thought... I think I might have thought it was one of the 2018 packs. I think it might have been one of the ones with, What was it? I'm thinking of Circuit Break, I think. Yeah, so, you're right. You're right. Sorry. I shouldn't have doubted you. My apologies. But anyways, let's look at the poll. Literally a unanimous 1. That's so funny. Alright then. So it looks like everyone, literally everyone, thinks that Blaster can come to 1, and I totally agree. This is going to be a bit awkward because y'all are some limit fiends. Like actual animals. We're gonna have to do it like this. This is what the rest of our limit's gonna look like. Alright, anyways. Next up. Ooh. This one I love. This is always a really... Let's say the Storm Dragon's Return was a Starlight Trap card that had Tempest on it and Ryra. It doesn't actually, though. It's not Tempest. That I know I'm right on, because it is... What is it? What's the name of it? I know what you're talking about, but it is not actually Tempest. Gotta remember... What was the name of it, though? I think... God, sorry, one sec. I'm looking... I'm trying to find it exactly. Oh, come on. It doesn't have Storm in the name. Is it a worm? It's not. Come on. That was Blazing Vortex, right? No, that was Rising Rampage. I'm tripping. Is that Firewall in the art? No, no. I know exactly what it is, but like... I can't find it. Actually, that might be Tempest. Shh. It's not Tempest. It's not Tempest. I'm trying to find, what was it called? It's a stupid common. It's got, like, clouds on the artwork, and it's, what was it, bro? I will look. I think it was level 4. No, it's not. Yeah, Storm Dragon's Return. I'm talking about the monster. There is a level 4. I think it's level 4. It's not Ronryu. Yo, I'll find it. I'll find it. I'll find it. Just give me some time. Just give me some time. I'll find it. It probably is Tempest, and I'm probably just like an actual moron. No, it's not the baby ruler. It's a different card. It has nothing to do with the dragon rulers, y'all. I know what I'm talking about. It's like a random bulk common from not too long ago. Oh, God. Is it a level 4? It better be. It's not level 4. Oh, my God. What's the level? Cloudy and Altis? No. Oh, God. What is it? Can you describe the card again? All I can remember, it's something to do with storms or clouds. Is it that? No, it's not Buford. It looks like a baby dragon ruler, but it's not a baby dragon ruler. It was a common in a fairly recent set, I think. And I'm gonna scream because I can't find it now. God, was it a wind or an earth? Might have been a wind. Thinking it was a wind. Come on. Half the stream now is just gonna be me sitting here looking for this one specific card. What is this card? I'm so angry, y'all. I'm genuine. Why can I not find this card? It's not a dark, is it? Don't make me sit here and look through all the dark dragons, bro. There's way too many. Oh, for a second I thought I saw it, but no. Lala who? I mean, no, it's not Cloudy and Storm Dragon. That card's ancient. God, what is this card, bro? Like I said, this entire stream now is gonna be me looking for this one random card. Any specific colors? It was like brownish or black looking, and it's got dark clouds. Maybe it's not a dragon. It might be a worm with my luck. Loud Cloud? It might be Loud Cloud. I think it's Loud Cloud. It is Loud Cloud. That's what I was looking for. Loud Cloud the Storm Serpent. That is the exact card I was looking for. Of course it's level 5. I was thinking in the back of my head that it was level 5, and I'm like, no, that's a stupid level. Level 5 suck. Loud Cloud the Storm Serpent. Let me look it up. I'll show y'all. Loud Cloud the Storm Serpent. It probably is Tempest on the artwork looking at it, and Storm Dragon's Return actually makes a lot of sense. So you're probably completely right, but you probably wouldn't say that I'm an idiot for thinking it was this at any point. Look at this. It's a reptile? I didn't even realize that. Okay. Very different dragon with the same storm? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Reptile equals dragon, real. Yeah, no wonder I couldn't find it. I was looking through the dragons and it's a reptile. I knew it had something to do with attributes, fire and wind here. Alright. You think Redox and Tattle can never come back? I actually broke that down on Twitter and on the Banlist discussion thing, where, like, it literally doesn't matter. Like, Tidal, the only decks that would utilize Tidal are bad. You got Mermail that really only cares because Stream triggers Dragoons and because of level 7. And then Goaty just likes dumping things. Otherwise, like, the problem is people are like, oh, Dragon Link would use the Dragon Rulers. But, like, the literally only reason that they would use them is as an extender for a free body. But they have to use resources to do that when they'd rather keep them in grave or hand. Whereas, like, you can't use the in-hand effects because name me the, like, multiple water dragons that Dragon Link is using. Or even Earth. Remember Z talking about the attribute merging cards about a year ago? Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about, yeah. But yeah, and then when it comes to, like... Because, like, when it comes to Dragon Link, most of the stuff they're using is, like, Chaos attribute. Wouldn't that see play in any deck that uses Ishizu cards? Not the Ishizu cards. I mean, like, the Verna Sylphs, yeah, because Redox is literally just a bigger, bigger Redox. They only require dragons for the effects, though, yeah? No. No, so, the discard effects. Like, dragons are for the special summon effect, but, like, for the search and for the discard effects, no, it's literally discard and a fire monster. It's like, I'm not talking about the special summon. The special summon, Dragon Link has, like, a million other ways to special summon. They don't want to use their hand or grave resources. This is what I'm talking about. All of them require their attribute. Yeah, so, like, literally, and then also adding a fire dragon. I mean, what are you going to add? Another blaster? It's at 1. But anyways, we should probably move on, huh? Okay. So, did I put blaster on the thing? I did, because it was the first one. Okay. We should move on with the actual point of the stream. So next up, okay, yeah. So I was too distracted by Tempest. This is a card that I like bringing up in Banlist discussions because it always rustles some jimmies. It's a really funny card. Come on, I know I have it. Where is it? Oh, come on. You're telling me I don't have... Oh my god. Ugh. Fine, I'm going to copy and paste from TCG Player. Bada bing, bada bleh. My boy. I say as I've never played a format with him ever. Okay. Masterpiece. This is always a really big topic of discussion when it comes to ban lists. Because the thing is with Masterpiece is that this card completely sucks in its own archetype. And outside of its own archetype, it is way too inconsistent. It's like, I know, like, almost everyone that says no to this card literally just has PTSD from True Draco format. But realistically, this card is a brick in its own archetype nowadays, and literally has 3 consistency cards in any other deck that would use it as an engine. Because there's 1 diagram, 1 terraforming, and 1 masterpiece, if we bring Masterpiece back. Like, it's funny, because on the other Banlist discussion stream, we all agreed Masterpiece could come to 1. Like, literally, this card is so fine. Not to mention, keep in mind, everyone's like, oh man, I hate the fact that it's unaffected. One sec, I have one for this one, right? Oh, come on, I don't have one for this either. Oh my god. It was gonna be so funny if I just had it. Oh man, I hate this unaffected Masterpiece. How am I gonna out this unaffected Masterpiece? There's no out to an unaffected Masterpiece. It's like 90% of decks can just slot in Underworld Goddess as a tech card to out towers. Like, literally, adding Nister isn't even good. So, like, they'd have to have the Masterpiece and a Floodgate, which, I mean, yeah, that's kind of True Draco's game plan, but... It's only unaffected by 2 of the 3 cards, so it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, that's also true to an extent, because, like, if they tribute 2 back row, literally murder it with any of your monster effects. If they tribute a spell on a monster, just imperm it or use an archetypal trap card or something. And if they use a monster and trap, I mean, droplets right there, y'all. The next structure deck, Dragons collide with power creep. Yeah, see, I've seen a few people say Dragons for the next structure deck, but I don't know. I don't know where the context of that is. Your top tier deck is played with Goddess. Have you looked at tier and sprite lists? A lot of tier and sprite lists are playing Goddess. Tier literally cannot out towers otherwise, or even things with targeting protection and battle protection. And, like, Sprite likes it with their IP plays. Like, a lot of topping deck... Flu also plays it as a backup option, because Unexplored Winds is an effect, quote-unquote, instead of being like a kaiju, they also can't out towers, so the few times they go into their extra deck, they use Underworld Goddess. Doesn't True Draco suck now even a Masterpiece at 1? Yeah. So, like, Demise and Diagram are both at 1. This is coming from a True Draco player, by the way. I can acknowledge that in Master Duel, like, especially before they put, the Demise and Duality to 2, but, like, Diagram's at 3 in Master Duel, by the way, as well. Oh, no, Diagram's at 1, sorry. Diagram is also at 1 in Master Duel. And it's pretty good in Master Duel because of Demise and stuff, but, like, right now, True Draco is literal dog water, coming from a True Draco player. I have, like, the entire core built. I like True Draco. Started out Avermax nowadays, I guess. Yeah, so a lot of people are also going to Avermax for the funny. Like, even if they're not going into, like, another tower, they're just going into Avermax, especially if you put it under an elf. Like, one of the biggest plays with a Goddess is you put it under elf and it's unaffected by everything. So it's funny that you're only out to an unaffected thing is the thing that outs the unaffected things. But, yeah, so Masterpiece, even with one, True Draco saying Masterpiece is fine. No, unironically, I've tested with one Masterpiece, and I hated seeing this card. Like, I would much rather keep those back row pieces I would have attributed, or that monster I would have attributed. And, like, if I ever want to get this card in my hand, it's because I'm searching it with Diagram. And if Diagram's at 1, then, I mean, like, whatever. But, like, so Tatsun did a stream like this, right? Back when Tatsun still did Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, and back before he ended up getting the ban hammer, he did a Banlist stream like this, and then he did testing on Dueling Book. And I was playing True Draco, like, I think it was True Draco with 3 Diagram as well, and it literally did nothing. Like, I drew Masterpiece both games, and it sucked. So Monarch's Erupt is literally the best card in True Draco, and funnily enough, not even all True Draco lists play it. They, like, a lot of True Draco players prefer Skill Drain for some reason, even though Skill Drain hurts you as well. But, like, unironically, like, I know there's a big argument here, but, like, I personally think Masterpiece is not gonna be that great. A lot of decks are able to get a 3000 attack body so you can beat over it. The biggest issue with that, technically, is the fact that it's a quick effect pop, but, like, even then, if it comes to my True Draco back row pieces, I'd rather keep them engraved so I can shuffle them with Disciples. Like, not gonna lie, Masterpiece is not that great of a card, y'all. But the biggest argument I saw wasn't even for True Draco, but there were people saying that Masterpiece would see play in other decks, but, like, I think Eldritch was one of them, I guess. But, like, realistically, who is playing one Masterpiece, one Diagram, and one Terraforming just to get access to a towers that could pop things, when, like, you'd rather keep those continuous back row pieces that you sent to grave, like an Eldritch or whatever, you'd rather keep those in your grave? Like, at that point, you're doing it just for the towers. Diagram protects Masterpiece from one battle as well. True, but again, one Diagram, one Masterpiece. So, like, when it comes to True Draco, that's not even always gonna be a thing. I think it can win some locals. To be fair, True Draco now can win some locals. I don't think Konami's even looking at True Draco. Yeah. Like, realistically, like, Masterpiece could have come back to 1 ages ago, but, like, they really don't really care about looking at True Draco, is the big thing. They did put Dynamite back to 3, though. I'm happy for that. They did put Dynamite to 3. Well, to be fair, the thing is with Yada is that Yada was a piece of Banlist history. Like, a lot of people, including me, are mad that Yada's back. Not because Yada is, like, stupid broken or anything like that, but because it was literally the first banned card. Diagram to 3 and we talking. I would much rather have 3 Diagram or even 3 Demise, like either one of the two, than 1 Masterpiece or even 3 Masterpiece as a Draco player. Like, hands down, I'd much rather have consistency than a clunky boss monster. Alright, so we have 11 votes currently. A lot of people are saying 1. AKA a lot of people are rational, functioning human beings. Okay, I'm sorry. That was probably really loud if you have headphones on. I'm sorry. Thought CED was the first list. I'm pretty sure... I think it was Yada and then whatever that card is. But, like, Yada was considered one of the first banned cards. Or the first banned card. It's like the grandfather of banned cards, so... That was, like, the big thing. Alright, so it looks like most of you have a brain. No, I'm kidding. Like, I feel like the biggest thing with Masterpiece is that people just have PTSD over it from when True Draco was, like, the best deck, and especially from Zoo Draco. Zoo Draco looked like it was hell. But it's like, we have to think about how much power creep has been. Talking about Masterpiece before Harp Horror. Don't worry, Harp Horror is on here too, I say, as I quickly scribble down Harp Horror, because I forgot to put it back on the fucking list after the last one. Alright. Card seems just like Power Creep Lady Lab. Real. Alright. Like, the biggest thing is that Power Creep since then is just, like, so vastly different. Because keep in mind, Torrential Tribute was broken back in 2017. Like, if you saw Torrential or Strike, like, you kind of just won the game. Also, My Body as a Shield. Alright, do I have... Okay, cool. Boom! The Harp Horror. Try to type Orcust in my phone, corrected to Orcust. Oh my god. Stop watching MBT, watch a War Raiju instead now. MBT told me to shut up on Twitter. Therefore, I don't like MBT. Okay. So, Harp Horror. So, there's a few things to talk about when it comes to Harp Horror. So, Harp Horror is a card in which it could probably come back to, like, 12 copies per deck. And like, literally Orcust would be fine. Surprise mention of Abyss Dweller, scribble down. Maybe. I feel like Dweller isn't a ban-worthy card come next format, though. Because Kashtira kind of, like, comes out and isn't affected by Dweller and can't make Dweller itself, so... Like, I feel like Dweller Pass is going to be a lot less viable. Harp won't do anything either. Yeah, so, like, Harp, in theory, does nothing. But, like, another thing to think about is Orcust tier. Coming from someone that's tested Orcust tier, you literally do all of your tier stuff, and you get to end on an Omni-Negate Banish, and a bunch of more recursion cards. But, with the Ishizu cards and the Bystials being a thing, it is a lot weaker. Because, like, literally any Orcust card touches the graveyard and it's getting sniped. Like, before it could even, like, before you can literally blink and say effect, you're getting completely sniped out of your graveyard. So, that is a very fair reason to say Harp can come to 1. And I agree. I think Harp can come to at least 1 and be perfectly fine. Oh, I just realized the other poll was still up. I was like, why can't I start a new poll? So, next. So, are we thinking that Harp stays banned? Is it going to go to 1? Or is it going to go to 3? Ugh, my throat is, like, raw right now. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of jamming to these remixes. I might use this website more. Like, it's playing from a YouTube playlist here, and with my luck, it's gonna end up getting, like, struck with copyright because not all of these are remixes. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't play half these games. I've played, like, a couple of Zelda games. I'm currently playing Breath of the Wild. It's kind of fun. I'm just kind of annoyed with, like, the stamina system for the most part. But then... I haven't played through, like, any of the older ones, and I haven't played through a Metroid game. I played a Metroid game, just not all the way through. I also have Dread, though. I'm kind of excited to play Dread. Dread looks really fun. I think Masterpiece is staying banned because they aren't looking at it for a long time, but I can definitely see Harp to 1 being a surprise change. Alright, so it looks like the general consensus is 1 Harp Horror. One Harp. Man, I am very gassy. What was the name of the site again? I can't scroll back up. The name of the site is ocremix.org. Just the letter O, letter C, remix.org. And I think the full name is Overclocked Remix. Oh, so this one is Xenoblade Chronicles now. Wow, we've gotten very far through this playlist. Oh, hey, 5 duels is in... Or 5 duels. 5Ds is in here. Okay, actually, we're in a completely different playlist then. It's just gonna try Snow unban again. Real. Dude, if they brought Snow back again... What's your favorite Xenoblade game? I have never played a single Xenoblade game, and everyone says they're really good, but as a Smash player, I hate Pyramithra, therefore I will never touch a Xenoblade game. Anyways, next up... Okay, so this is another one, just like Masterpiece. This is a really big topic when it comes to ban lists. We have Heavy Metalfoes Electrumite. Electrumite was one of the victims of the January 2020 complete slaughter list that ended up killing all of the TOS format decks and even a lot of the Rogue or Tier 2 decks like Pendulum. And Electrumite is a really... I can already see chat kind of blowing up. Electrumite is a big topic of discussion because a lot of people say Electrumite can come to 1 and be fine because Pendulum is bad, which I agree. Honestly, that's my stance on it. A lot of people say it can't come back, and they gave us Beyond the Pendulum, so it's like it's fine, or that it's too degenerate, or that it, I've seen some people say it inhibits card design, but personally, I think Electrumite at 1 is perfectly fine. Like, it's like a whatever thing. Maybe no more than 1, because the first effect isn't a hard once per turn, and also it did reveal some degenerate stuff, especially now that we have Astrograph back, but I feel like at 1, Electrumite is perfectly fine. Like, Pendulum right now... Like, Draco Slayer, I think, is a really cool deck. It's a really cool deck that is honestly doing pretty decent, but even with Electrumite, like, I feel like it would still be relegated to 1.5 at most. Isn't a lot of pen kind of designed with Electrumite in mind, so that's why it's not as good in TCG. I don't know. Some people say that because the OCG has Electrumite, but I'm not too sure. Our list also limited Sekka's Light. Maybe they can bring it back to 3 to sell the Super Heavy Samurai stuff. So the thing is, I found out, so I said, oh yeah, Sekka's come to 3 because of Super Heavy Samurai. But then I was told by a lot of Super Heavy Samurai players that even before the new support, but especially now with the new support, Sekka's is actually bad because it literally inhibits not only some of the effects of your soul cards, I think the crossbow one or gauntlets or something like that, but also the fact that but one of the new cards, maybe actually 2 of the new cards, and then one of the old cards steals from the opponent's grave. It steals their back row, and you can't activate them if you use Sekka's. And so, like, 2 or 3 of your cards in your deck are just kind of, like, dead if off of Sekka's, even if Sekka's is a draw 2. So I was actually informed that. I thought that was pretty neat. I feel like Beyond is the modern Electrumite. See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are saying because of Beyond, we don't need Electrumite or whatever, but Beyond and Electrumite are just 2 completely uncomparable cards. But, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and put in... Doesn't she need no spells and traps engraved to resolve, what, Sekka's? Sekka's, I believe, is the case, but, like, it also says that you can't use anything else. Like, literally no other spell or trap effects, not even, activate. Yeah, OCG also has Beyond, so... Electrumite, we're gonna go ban... 1, or, I'm not gonna put 3, actually, as an option, because I feel like some of you are crazy and will actually say it's 3, but I feel like that's just not gonna happen. But do we think... Maybe to sell the Draco Slayer stuff and the new Valance cards. Keep in mind, Valance actually just got brand new support out of Photon Hypernova. I know at least a fusion. I think they might have gotten a spell too, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I know Valance is becoming a pretty, like, cult classic deck. Or, and honestly, it's not that bad. I played against it on stream, on Saturday night with Suship. Good, but not meta relevant. What, Valance? Are we talking Valance or are we talking about Draco Slayer? Because Draco Slayer is very meta-relevant. Like, it's literally... It started off slow, but now it's topping, like, a lot of places. Alright, it looks like almost a overwhelming majority of Electrumite lovers in the chat, so... I think it's safe to say... Oh, that is not what I wanted to happen. Electrumite to 1. The moment Pendulum makes it to tier 2, people start playing D-Barrier and Anti-Spell. No. People are playing D-Barrier right now for tier anyway. Let's move this up a little bit. I don't like Pens so much because I need to wait like 10 minutes for them to finish, make their usual negate boss monsters that any other deck can do. I don't know. I feel like Pen's like really fun to watch. I played Pen back in 2018 when they still had Electrumite at 1, and it was so much fun. It was like one of the most fun decks I've ever played. I was really undefeated against my friends, and then I got like stomped when I took it to locals. Anyways, next up... Okay, so I think I have these... Do I? I don't. Honestly, I feel like these ones... Okay, so I was gonna bring up Jackalope and Tsuchinoko. I'll bring it up anyway because it is a prediction list. Let me look them up then. Danger Jackalope. Who plays a mono in Runic? That's nasty. Like, it just turns off all of your own things. Okay. So let me go back to Photoshop. There it is. Free all of them, but particularly I'd say they will not touch them. No, because they've been freeing all, like, the dangers over the last couple of lists. Like, because Jackalope and, Tsuchinoko, I believe, actually, those are still at 1, right? Yeah. So those are still at 1, but they freed Nessie. Not to mention that Dark World is a deck, and they really want to sell more Dark World stuff. So I feel like Jackalope and Tsuchinoko are topics of discussion. Mono and Runix is popular in Master Duel. Yeah, that's Master Duel, though. Master Duel sucks. So left with the rule change regarding counters. Alright. But... I feel like both Jackalope and Tsuchinoko are cards that are they're like very liable to come to 2 or 3, probably 2 obviously, but I feel like mainly just to sell Dark World because they know not only is it a nostalgic deck, but it's also not a bad deck, and a lot of people are going for it, especially due to a representation and everything. So I feel like the dangers, I feel like slowly they're gonna come back, and it's funny now that like the dangers used to be the most broken archetype in the game. But, like, now they're just, like, they're pretty good, but they're not, like, super busted. I still don't like the Dangers, personally. I feel like the Dangers are still kind of dumb. And, like, as long as Links keep getting, like, still good in general, I feel like the Dangers will always be there as, like, something stupid. But, that's just me. But I feel like we can definitely end up seeing Jackalope and or Tsuchinoko to 2. And I don't know if it'll be at the same time. But, let's just do Jackalope first. After we do Jackalope and Tsuchinoko, I'm going to have to let my dogs out, so you'll have an ad break there. So let's do a quick, like, 30-second pull for Jackalope, and then another one for Tsuchinoko. Ah, dang it. Doggo, stop. I will let you out in a moment. And of course, they're tearing my sheet off my bed and laying on the raw mattress. This was like a brand new mattress, and you couldn't even tell because it's like covered in like dirt and stuff now. Because they keep like yanking my sheet. Oh my god. Dog, your leg is stuck under the sheet. I have some stupid animals. Alright, it looks like only 4 votes. It looks like people aren't really that interested. I'm just gonna put both to 2, honestly. I feel like it'll just be a time consumer if we sit here. So let's go. Funny that Tsuchinoko is the only danger with no downside since it's summoned itself regardless. No, so it's technically a downside even if it summons itself back, to be fair, because you don't get the draw. Like, the thing is about the dangers is that now they're not good for the bodies like they used to be. They're mainly just really good for the fact that you get to draw for free. At least for the non-level 4 ones. The level 4 ones are good for the bodies as well because, you know, we love making Dweller. Danger Tsuchinoko. But yeah, like, back during, like, heavy link format, though, where, like, everyone was extra linking or FTKing, it was absolutely, the best one, Tsuchinoko. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Danger's used that much outside of Danger Dark World now. I know Tier used them a bit for these Ishizu cards. Yeah, so it was Danger Tier when that was like the best build of Tier back during Sprite format. But then we ended up getting the Dark World stuff, and so now it's really only used in Dark World. And they really like the draws more than the bodies, because they can already get a million bodies on board. They're playing Dark World. But, oh, funnily enough, I think that was actually everything I had written down. When I do get back from letting my dogs outside, we will get to what chat thinks needs to be addressed on the list, or what can come off the list. But until then, I will see you in just a moment. back. 1 second. I got myself a big ass bowl of Captain Crunch Oops All Berries and a big ass glass of milk. Because I am hungry, but I didn't want to eat with a spoon. So we're separating the milk from the cereal. Chair hype? Everyone always goes nuts over my chair every time I leave. This here's excited for Gold Pride. I'm honestly... So, I don't know if I should cover it, because the big thing is, I like to cover every new archetype that comes out. But the big thing is that it's already being revealed by another YouTuber, so, like, why would I cover it at that point? Like, at that point, it feels like just view milking, which, I mean, to be fair, I like milking views. I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. I like milking views as much as I can. But, anyways, also, on a similar topic, I forgot to mention this during last stream and this stream, but, if you want to support the channel directly, we have Super Chat. But anyways, on a serious note, now that we're done with everything I have in my notepad document, what should we get to now in terms of the list? Like, I want to hear what y'all's opinions are, because this is our list so far. But what are some cards that you think are up for debate right now? Like, what could get banned, limited, semi-limited, what could come off the list? Like, I want to know. Chicken Game and Red Rose Dragon. I'm gonna disagree with you, like, massively on Chicken Game. Red Rose Dragon... That's an interesting one, honestly. I've been hearing so many people talk about Abyss Dweller. Yeah, so, Dweller's a card that always comes back into discussion, because, like, it is a lingering floodgate. But, like, it's a very format-dependent lingering floodgate. And, like, yeah, right now, it's, like, really good against Tier. It's, like, kind of busted. But, like, Tier can still play, like, around it a little bit. Especially with the Kashtira cards. Like, the big thing is that Dweller Pass isn't going to be as good anymore. Because not only is, like, pure Kashtira, they literally do not care about Dweller. But, also, Tearlaments can just use Kashtira cards. Like, they can just summon Unicorn and stuff. Or, God forbid, they get to go first. And then they Diablosis the Dweller right out of your extra deck. Like, or they hit the Dweller right out of it. Why was Red Rose limited? It was limited because of Hulk combos. Like, the Red Rose package was, like, super good in Dragon Link. It enabled some really, really nasty Hulk combos. But I'm thinking about Red Rose, not gonna lie. Trident. Oh, yeah, Trident was on here. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Again, I lost my old file. Like, I had a notepad file, and I lost it because my computer crashed. But, like, I look up Trident, and one of the first things that pops up is a Trident blanket. But, I'm assuming... Or, not open, I need to make a new document. I'm assuming that almost nobody is going to have a problem with Trident. Like, it's Trident. Title to support the water decks? Yo, for real. Okay, so it's not something that I will predict... But I want Tidal back so bad. I did testing with Mermail with Tidal. This is before Hulk was gone and Ronin Totem was gone. But I love Tidal so much. And by Tidal, I mean I love Stream. Because Stream literally gets you access to your combos easier. But now that Hulk is gone and Ronin's gone and all of that. I mean, the combos are kind of dead. But Samorg for Harpies, but keep Stormwind ban. Samorg for Bird Up, you mean? Why is Trident banned anyway? Just because Zoo can make a 6-mat Zeus? Basically... like, Trident, so if you didn't know, Zodiac became kind of tier 1 again once, Tri-Brigade came out. Tri-Zoo was a big thing, and, also Zodiac, Eldritch, and stuff, because they got Trident back around the same time the Tri-Brigades came back, I believe. Maybe it was a little bit before. But they also ended up, I think it was, like, Barrage went to 1 so that Trident could come back to 1. And personally, I think it was fine. Like, I don't know. Okay, on Master Duel, I don't know how so many people freak out about Tri-Zoo, or freaked out about Tri-Zoo, I should say, when it was literally Trident Pass. Like, Trident Fairship Pass. 3 Zeus's formats wasn't enough. I wanted tiny locals using D-Shifting Zodiac. Tell me why 2 different people at my locals anniversary event, the other day, or yesterday, were on Zodiac. And one of them topped. At least one of them topped. I don't know if the other one did, but it's so funny. Unban or errata plush fire. I don't think they're gonna errata it. I feel like it could definitely come unbanned. It was definitely a card that we said could go to 1 on the last stream about the ban list. But the main thing is we're talking about predictions. Not gonna lie, I don't think anyone here that's left is gonna say no to Trident, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put Trident. I feel like Trident to 1. So this actually does make sense. Sorry for talking about my mouthful, by the way. Well, like Trident to 1 does seem reasonable because they did just give us 3 Tenki, so they could also do that like as additional support. So like, it's not like out of the question to see this happen. I think Trident's another card that Konami isn't looking at, but it can absolutely come back. Right. So that is Trident done. Anything else? There's a lot of limited cards. Max C discussion? Nah. Max C, they're not going to touch. If Striker isn't topping, Zoo wouldn't either. I don't know. I disagree. I think Striker and Zoo are very different decks. People were actually experimenting with Tier Zoo with 1 Trident. It was really weird. Or with Barrage and stuff too. Because everyone's like, oh yeah, Trident and Barrage are fine, but I don't know about Barrage, man. Maybe Denglong now that Hulk is banned. I would love Denglong back, and it was something that we thought could come back in the last stream, but I don't know if that's something they would do. Unlimited Misk? I mean, I would love to see Unlimited Misk, but do we think that's something they would bring up? Like, okay, once Transcendrate comes out, or maybe after Cyberstorm Access, when we get the new Dynamorphia card, I think then they'll think about hitting freeing Misk. But I think for now, it's not really something they're paying attention to. Like, coming from a Dino, like a dedicated Dino player, or a previously dedicated Dino player, don't get me wrong, I want 3 Misk as much as y'all do, but... Limit final countdown, no. Skill Drain to 1? I mean, personally, I want Skill Drain gone. But, like, it's not really doing anything right now. I don't think they'll really, I don't think they really care about Skill Drain right now. I like how this turned into, like, a Twitch mukbang stream. No, the Evenly reprint's confirmed. For the TCG, the Evenly reprint's confirmed. One sec. You might hear Robbie's beautiful voice here for a second. Gotta click on this video. Skill Drain's not healthy. Skill Drain sucks. I hate Skill Drain. Let me keep scrolling down. Sorry, I'm trying to find where it says the Evenly reprint. Okay. Gotta scroll down, 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 down. Okay. You'll also find some classic Powerhouse trap cards in the structure deck, including Artifact, Sanctum, and Evenly Matched. So Kieran, we actually said could absolutely come to 1 and be perfectly fine. Jin, we absolutely said no. Especially with Drytron and stuff, Jin could never come back. Yeah, thank you, John. Infernobles use Smoke Grenade to rip multiple cards out of people's hands. Even though, personally, I only ever ripped 1, but... Kieran's worse than DPE? Not for real. Oh, why is Divine Wind of Mist Valley? Loops. Basically, Mist Valley, I mean, even with Union Carrier, they had infinite loops, but, like, Divine Wind was used for just a bunch of loops. I think it was also with Duloran. Now Duloran got his errata, so I don't know. One sec. That's a funky little beat that just happened in my ear. Anything else, chat? You think we could finally get Pankratops back? During the last video, we never managed to get around to the limited and semi-limited cards because I was like really exhausted. It was a really long stream. Oh yeah, Skill Drain, my favorite Weather Painter card. Maybe Change of Heart since Mind Control is already unlimited? No, Mind Control is absolutely still limited. I was like, there's no way it's back. No, Mind Control and Change of Heart are both limited. Hirata and Unbanned Curious? No. Coming from someone that also likes Lightsworn? No. Yeah, no, you're fine. Also, no one's allowed to bring up Metamorphosis. I swear to God, if anyone else brings up Metamorphosis, I'm just going to show you a still PNG of Last Warrior. Betty is ban-worthy, but BA don't deserve it. Beatrice is a good discussion point, not gonna lie, but to be fair, we have Magnamhut limited here, so... They won't do it but self-destruct button, and won't do anything even with triple tasking and Dinomorphia. 6 cents? No. We said 6 cents. Hell no in the last one. Free Chaos Roller? No. Chaos Roller's stupid. Okay, cool. It's like one of the dumbest cards I've ever seen. I'm surprised it took them that long to ban it. Man, Captain Crunch All Berries is really good. Like, YouTube, let me just clarify. These are, in fact, Captain Crunch Not All Berries, and not mysterious pills. Element Recital and Desires. Oh yeah, Recital I'm pretty sure is going to come to 3. In fact, honestly... let me go... Some of the R's, right? Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'm honestly, I'm pretty confident Recital's going to come to 3. There's no reason to keep it at 2. Like, the only builds that play 3 anyway are pure Lyrilusk, and God knows they need it. Can Barrage come back to 1? I don't know. I've explained a few times in the past why I don't like Barrage. Like, personally, it's like an E-Telly with, like, no downside. Can Glow Up Bulb come back? So, in the last one, we mentioned Glow Up Bulb. And I was like, yeah, like, Plant Link would really like it. And then we sat there and we thought about it, and we realized just how goofy it could be in general. For Plant Link and for non-Plant Link. Bring back Shamorg? Man, I wish. Yeah, Barrage is literally the best E-Telly in the entire game. It's a soft once per turn. It has its own floating effect. It can trigger 1,000,000 floating effects. Oh. Can I tell you, though? So, chat, in the last one, I don't think I recognize anyone here from the last one. In the last one, we were talking about what banned cards could come off. Chat said not only Barrage could come back, but MX Saber Invoker. Chat literally said MX Saber Invoker could come back and then didn't bat an eye at Barrage. Barrage, target Battle Baboon, pop, summon a zoo, Battle Baboon effect, summon 2 more Battle Baboon, go into MX Saber Invoker, effect detach, summon another zoo. It was wild. Bring back Broad Bull? Hell no. Can you imagine Broad Bull search Fractal, bro? Coming from a Tri-Brigade player. It was fun. It's not like we're like serious discussion now, but like it's fun. I played Metalfoes Zodiac and Bababoon was ridiculous. Bababoon's so goofy. I have like a million of them though, so maybe if Barrage did come back with MX Saber Invoker, I could sell them all. Want a Metamorph replacement for Neo Bubble Man? Oh yeah, Neo Bubble Man's unsummonable now, isn't he? That's funny. Rat, Bull, and Barrage can never return. Honestly, I think Rat's fine. Like, Rat's definitely the best one, but like, what does Rat really do? Like, I mean, it makes Draco future. Oh yeah, that's why Dryden was banned. Not just for Zeus, but also because they had like a really easy Draco future line. I don't know. Limit Saryuja before stupid stuff gets done with it. Now, if they wanted to limit Saryuja, they would have done it like a million years ago. People have been asking for a Saryuja banner limit since like 2018. I have to tune also Megaclops with my Trolley out. I mean, Megaclops is easy. It's kind of easy to out now, though. I feel like Megaclops is such a non-issue. If Megaclops was good, Numeron would be good. Because Numeron has a 1-card Megaclops. But, like, between Goddess and Zeus and, like, other generic Xyz that people are using, like... Looking at the list, and it's the first time I've seen magical Midbreaker field, and it's limited, but unlimited in the OCG. Yeah, Midbreaker was really good with set rotation. Because, like, you just prevent your opponent from using field spells. I played it in True Draco for a little bit with Diagram. Back when Diagram was at 3, I think. And it wasn't bad, but, like, I ended up drawing it way too often. And then I draw the set rotation later, and it sucked. Because I can't do anything with it except pop it off Diagram. Alright, y'all. It looks like the viewer count is dropping very slowly. And it is pretty late over here. It's like 12:31 a.m. where I'm at. Now, I'm getting a little tired. It's been really fun, honestly. I'm so glad I started streaming on YouTube instead of on Twitch now because I've actually been getting a lot. The last stream talked about Colossus. Yeah, we said no Colossus. Like, I've been enjoying streaming on YouTube because my audience is actually here, and so I know I'm actually going to get people, which is why I was really confused why there was 0 people during the first attempt at the stream. Otherwise, it looks like a good prediction, except for Dragon Roller and Shifter. I feel like the Dragon Roller is not a bad call, because we are getting the, well, it's more not getting it here for a while, but we're getting the Duelist Pack Duelist of Explosion. But, yeah, it's been really fun, y'all. But I gotta probably head to bed soon. I've been trying to, like, go to bed earlier, but, unfortunately, it's just been getting harder and harder. But, thank you all so much for coming out to the stream. It was a lot of fun to just hang out here and talk about the list. I might make a separate video on this, but both VODs for the first part of the stream that did get cut off and the second stream here, both of them will be up for those of you that showed up late and wanted to see the full thing. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, as well as put this video and the channel into YouTube recommended. And if you like this content and want to see more like it, I'm trying to stream a lot more, then perhaps consider subscribing, because we're on our way to 5,000 subscribers. Not to mention, it supports the channel more than anything else, and it's absolutely free. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora.